That's a crazy statue.
This was designed by me. So
112.
when he came, he appeared somewhere in Himalayas. People saw that he was dancing wildly, or he sat
Do
still.
you think this was a real person, a real individual?
Only 7 disciples hung on. They saw the greatest miracle is the man is not getting up for food, water, toilet, nothing.
Who do you think this person was?
He's Adi Yogi. This happened over 15,000 years
Right.
ago. The first yogi, he's referred to as the Adi Yogi. Today, to honor him, we have set up a 112 feet tall bust of Adi Yogi in India. You must look him up.
112
Yeah, you
feet
can look him
tall
up,
bust.
Adi Yogi.
What part of India is that?
In southern India, in Coimbatore, in Tamil Nadu. So, this is 112 feet because he gave 112 methods as to how. We are saying this over 15,000 years ago because of they talked about certain celestial happenings. Those happenings have been confirmed today as well over 15,000 years ago. And we have iconographic proof of something like 12,400 years. Yeah, that's Adi.
Whoa,
112 feet tall.
great hair. That's a crazy statue.
Yeah, this was
How
designed…
old is that statue?
This was designed by me and built by all volunteers inside the center.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that a building? So can you go
This is-
inside of that?
You can go inside, but there's no building inside because it's metal, it gets very hot inside.
Oh, beautiful.
The idea was when I designed this, it took me 2.5 years to design this face. You're not seeing the face very clearly. Let's see if you can get a picture where the face is clear.
It's very
Yeah,
beautiful.
maybe, yeah. So I wanted intoxication, stillness and exuberance on one face. So it took me 2.5 years to design this face. What do you think? It has these qualities?
I think you nailed it. And how was this constructed? This is all metal?
It's all metal.
How was it made?
So, we made this, it took us some 680 tons of steel. Now we are doing another one near Bangalore, the same one, but now we are doing it with almost 170 tons less because now we've figured out the design much better.
Wow. That's incredible though. I mean, it really is gorgeous. And that's all, is it welded together? Like
Yeah.
how is it?
See, you can see some patchwork here, you're not seeing it, but actually the metal pieces are all about this much size. We could have removed that, we could have, brazed that and removed that. But when I looked at it, the roughness of it looked better than a smooth face, so I just left it as it is. So there are patches.
So you can see the construction
You can see
method
the
when you're
construction
seeing
material, not really that visible, but you can see for an observer, you can see that, which gives a kind of roughness to the statue, not very smooth.
it. So this yogi that devised these 112…
So when he came, he appeared somewhere in Himalayas and people saw that he was dancing wildly in ecstatic states, completely oblivious to everything around him, or he sat still for days on end, weeks on end, he just sat still unmoving. So initially, lot of thousands of people gathered, some miracle is happening, but slowly, because he didn't perform any miracles, no fireworks happened, people got bored and they left. Only 7 disciples hung on because they saw the greatest miracle is the man is not getting up for food, water, toilet, nothing. That means he's beyond the physical nature. He's just sat there for months on end sometimes. The only sign of his aliveness was tears of ecstasy were dribbling down his cheeks. That was the only sign of life, otherwise he looked like he's dead. So when he came to some moments when he came to his consciousness, they pleaded, they wanted to learn, what is it that is happening to you? So he tried to be dismissive, he didn't want to be in touch with them, but when they hung on, when they persisted, then he put them on a preparatory kind of work. They went through the preparatory work and then he started expounding for many years what is the science of how human mechanism is made.
Who do you think this person was?
He's Adi Yogi. They called him… because he never introduced himself, they called him Yogi because he was the first one, they called him Adi Yogi. Adi Yogi means the first yogi. And he is also referred to as Shiva. Shiva means one who is not, that which is not. In the sense, see today modern science is speaking in these terms, in an atom for example, over 99% of it is empty space. There is proton, neutron, electron, all that covers less than 1%. 99% is empty space. So it is in the cosmos, 99% is empty space. So if you transcend your physical nature, you become a Shiva. That means you are nothing. But nothing is the most powerful dimension of the existence because it is in the lap of the nothingness, everything is happening. What you call as everything is just 1%.
Or do you think it's representative of the learning of yoga, and the best way to establish it, to express it, was to make it a person?
It's a real person because the places where he came, what he spoke, everything is recorded in history largely by lore. Today people are trying to write it down in books because in India, we don't believe in scholarship, we believe in experience, inner experience. So it's always transmitted as a oral tradition for a long time. These days people are writing down in many ways. It was a real person because…
Pretty spectacular human being, if they could do all the
Absolutely.
things.
See, when he came down south, in southern India at that time, people were way shorter than the northern people. So they say he was twice the height of an average South Indian woman. So they say he must have been… because an average South Indian woman, tribal women were like 4.5 feet, so he must have been 7 or 8 feet tall, that people said he was twice that. And they say when he stood next to a horse, he was as tall as the horse's ears.
But do you think these are exaggerations?
No,
do you think… what do you think
exaggerations could be there, but because his physical size doesn't mean anything for his yoga.
Right, but
So
why…
there's no point exaggerating that aspect, I'm saying.
Right.
See, if he was a warrior, somebody may exaggerate him. But for a yogi, what is the point making him a big guy physically?
Just to make him divine, so
No,
physically unique.
that is the whole thing. See, in India, the Indian culture has only spiritual paths. There is no real religion per se, because a religion needs a belief, all right? Spiritual process needs a quest, a seeking. If you are on the spiritual path, we call you a seeker. If you ascribe to religion, we call you a believer, all right? Belief means something that you do not know. Because an authority speaks, you believe that. It could be your father who says that this is the truth and you believe him as a child, then it may be a priest, then it may be somebody bigger, or it may be in a book. You believe it because it comes from an authority. But the nature of that culture, the Eastern culture, is there is no authority for us. Truth is the only authority. Authority is never the truth. So that is the essence of Eastern mysticism and Eastern spirituality, that it is… you're always a seeker, never a believer.
So you think that yoga just emanated from this one incredibly unique human being that was larger than everybody else, that had supernatural abilities that existed 15,000 years ago?
No. See, now you're making a superhuman being out of somebody.
But
No.
making an 8-foot tall person who can
No,
go for
you
days
see,
on end without drinking
there have
water.
there have been people like that, all right, in every culture. There have been
people
physically large people, but his physical size has nothing to do with his capabilities.
Right, but
because
the capabilities are super physical too, aren't they?
No. See, this is what it's about. Yoga is not about being superhuman. Yoga is about realizing being human is super. That's what is important. So that's the whole thing that he's saying. How being human is so super, if you explore your humanity to its fullest, you will become so fantastic. Being a human being itself is a fantastic feat. You don't have to act like a superhuman being. He did not perform any miracles, he did not do anything. He just taught them how to be beyond the limitations of one's physical and psychological structures, that's all.